This is going to be a different video. It might sound like a rant. It might sound like me just complaining. But the complaint is the rise of AI images. And at its core, AI doesn't really bother me. I don't really give it tons of thought. I think there's a possibility that AI makes our lives easier and takes over some of the jobs that maybe aren't as enjoyable. And I like playing around with AI myself. You know, there's photos that I like to take or make from time to time using AI, which is fun. But I have been receiving photos and messages from people, and this is by no means meant to attack or hurt those people. I don't think there's any ill will intended by the folks who sent me these messages, where they send me, and I've had family members send me said photos of carvings. Let me put that in quotations. Carvings that they suggest that I make or I should carve. And what's really frustrating is that these images are created by AI, and they're not actual carvings that someone has made. And I'm kind of torn on this because the actual image that the AI has created is cool, right? Like it's interesting that a computer created this image. And in most cases, most of the carvings that are created are possible, but would require lots and lots of time and work to make them what the AI has created. Completely possible, but would require many man hours to make. And the typical giveaway is that the images are really good at imitating the actual carving. So like the carving will look really awesome, but almost passable. Like you can't quite tell that it's not real. But the AI makes a few mistakes. One, it hasn't really gone past that uncanny valley where like your mind knows that something's wrong. The trick is that lots and lots of people are tricked by these. Like I can see one of these AI images of these carvings, and I'll show a few here. And if you look at the comments on these posts, you'll see that people are just praising the work of the craftsman. So that means that people are tricked by these images. They believe that these images or these carvings were created by an actual carver. When the reality of it is AI generated this image. Where AI is not great up to this point, and I believe that at some point it will surpass this hurdle, the hands are sometimes off. So if you look at the hands on the individual, they're sometimes weird looking. Or it's the chainsaw or the tools that are dead giveaway. AI is not very good at mimicking tools, specifically chainsaws. In an AI image, the chainsaw almost never looks like a chainsaw, or it'll look somewhat like a chainsaw, but if you look close enough, you'll notice that it's not quite right. The other thing is it's not great at putting words on items. So if you look at like let's say there's cans in the background, cans of varnish or something like that, or boxes with words on them. The words aren't in any language you know. The AI has just created these letters, which is interesting because you would think that AI would do a better job of mimicking something as simple as the alphabet, but it has trouble with it. I think ultimately where I'm just trying to figure out why it bugs me. I think ultimately what bugs me the most is that people are tricked by these images, and AI is just getting started. So given enough time, we're not going to be able to tell the difference, which is scary. And it's scary because as an artist, you realize that the digital aspect of your work can be very easily copied or manipulated. I'm not ultimately very worried about AI taking my job as an artist, because I think there are people who like to have physical things in a physical space that they can touch. And so I'm not as concerned about that. I think ultimately what bothers me is the number of folks who are tricked by these AI images. And I will tell you, they're getting better, because there are some AI images that I can tell you the carving isn't real, but I can't tell you why it isn't real. I just have this gut feeling as an artist and as a woodcarver that it's not. Now, I have an advantage that a lot of people don't have, and that's that I know lots and lots of woodcarvers, and I know specifically the caliber of carver it would take to pull off these carvings that AI is generating, and that list is a very small group of people. And so when you see the artist in the picture with the carving, that's a giveaway. The other, or not see them in the picture with the carving. Like if I'm seeing the person in the AI image and it's not someone I recognize, that's a red flag. I'm not going to say that I know every wood carver out there, by no means do I, but the really good ones, I've seen their work. We know who they are. We know who the greats are, and when I see an image and I don't recognize the person, and the quality of work that's next to them doesn't match up to who I've seen, who's been in this business for a very long time, it's just a red flag. The other red flag being that almost always the caption is, "I made this with my own two hands and no one appreciates it." That's a giveaway, folks. The fact that these people are asking for your sympathy for their incredible work is a little silly, because artists will not do that. One of two things with artists: either one, this is going to sound really harsh, they don't care what you think because they're creating the art that they're passionate about, or number two, they know they're good and they don't need to beg for your compliments. That's another giveaway. And again, not entirely sure why this problem bothers me. I just know that I'm seeing it more and more frequently, and it just bugs me. I think ultimately that people are being fooled by these AI images, and I'm a little worried about authenticity. That's my biggest concern. I've also seen a marked, been my word of the day, a marked increase of scammers trying to take advantage of my work by sending me messages saying they want to purchase it. And it's almost like they're all following a script, because I can tell in the first sentence that they send me that they're trying to scam me. Now, I have a background in banking. I have been a banker. I have worked directly with fraud cases and avoiding fraud, and I've had training on said fraud and have helped people avoid fraud. So I know a lot more about it than the typical person. So it's very easy for me to spot. What worries me is that it's not as easy for a lot of folks, and I just hate people who take advantage of people. So I will be posting some videos in the future of me wasting these scammers' time, because I love it. So I love wasting their time. And the way I look at it is, every moment that those scammers spend with me is time they don't spend with someone who might actually fall for the scam. So I enjoy wasting scammers' time, and probably more than I should. My wife thinks it's hilarious. I think it's a lot of good fun, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So just a couple things that are bothering me. We seem to have some issues with authenticity and with integrity. And those are two things that are very important to me. It's why you see my face so often in my videos, because I believe that I could share my work all day long, but if you don't get to know me, some of the authenticity dissipates. And so that's why I like to share so much, and I like to talk about things that maybe don't directly apply to the art that I'm creating. And if you have seen some of these AI images or have dealt with scammers, maybe you take something from this or you can relate to it. And if you haven't, maybe you give some more thought to the images that you're seeing and try to spot the ones that AI are creating. See if you can spot these images. I think that if you've see some of these that I've shared in this video, it'll be more apparent to you. And stay diligent with the scammers, folks. Be very careful. We have had instances of scammers trying to use my page to take advantage of customers. If you don't know who you're talking to or you can't verify it, do not send people money or your personal information. Thanks so much. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.